Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Night Santiago, and welcome to Trust the Process. On this edition of Trust the Process, I'm drawing one of my characters, RYOJIN. RYOJIN comes from Japanese mythological culture. RYOJIN in Japanese means dragon god. So you get to see me sketching them, lining them, inking them, and doing all that cool stuff. I don't do the color in this video. I'm going to save that for another video. But it's basically a little over 10 hours of work, time lapsed into 20 minutes. I'll be stopping the music or lowering the music at certain points to explain what I'm doing. I trust the process. So there's many times where I messed up, or many times where I wanted change. Many times I looked at references. Many times I made adjustments. But I want you guys to see what I go through while I draw these characters. If you have any suggestions, things you want to see me do, as far as trust the process or anything else, I'll be doing some animation trust the process as well. Comment below, DM me, Noches Nachos on Instagram. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. All of these art pieces that I'm doing in these videos will be available for download, some for sale, some for free when Torchville.com launches. And they're not just going to be prints, they're going to be downloadable JPEGs, PNGs, possibly PSDs, so you can import into your own Photoshop, make adjustments, color them, show me what you do with my artwork. So with no further ado, here is RYOJIN. Trust the process. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Night Santiago, and here I start my character sketching. I'm using a blue line. Again, the program is Photoshop. I use an 11 by 17 canvas. That's standard comic book page size. For the concept art and covers and things of that nature. When comic book artists turn their art in, it's normally on 11 by 17. So I emulate the same thing at 300. The resolution is at 300 pixels per square inch. And right now, all I'm doing is getting the pose right and just refining. I can't stress enough how important refining is, especially for me. And the beauty of Photoshop, as you see, is I can adjust the size or the position of the character and my artwork as I go along. You know, this is not like a paper medium where once it's down, I can make adjustments. So let's just watch this for a few seconds, just me sketching the character. So here you see through this stage, I'm making some, I'm throwing some details in there. When I started this character, I didn't really have a locked-in idea of what he was going to be. Not a name, not anything. You know his name now because I said it at the beginning of the video. But adding details, sort of like a third eye pair of glasses on him. My idea was mystical, magical, powerful. The receding hairline, curling. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just designing. I was just going. Sometimes I just go and I let my brain do the work, or I let my hand do the work. And again, I'm still designing. I turn that fist into, you know, a straight hand. I wanted to make him look, you know, sort of martial arts. So again, just chipping away, trying new things as I go along. You'll see I add a bunch of things that are not in the end result, but that's the beauty of this. I like erasing and redrawing until it feels right. So a lot of my artwork is the feel, and you'll see by the end of this a lot of things are wrong, you know, but to me it felt right. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So here I changed, I made a separate layer, and I changed the color of the ink to a red just to add some contrast for myself, for my own visuals. I added, you know, the hat, the Raiden style hat, and this is where I started narrowing down. All right, this is going to be a Japanese character. This is going to be a god-like figure. And again, the beauty of the program is I can select certain areas, move them around, whereas on paper I would have to erase and redraw and hope for the best. But I changed facial features a lot on this one. I changed a lot of the features a lot, but this is the redlining area. And this one, you see, I added extra beard hanging down. It just seemed more classic, old school. But I believe I line out the entire character. And every time I go over this character, I'm making some adjustments. So this right here is the inking stage. This is where I'd pull out the pilot and the Sharpie, or you know, just the fine tip 0.5 pen, and just get to lining. I don't add much detail or shading on this step because this right here is the framework for the end inking. But this is just full black, no opacity, no fade, no lowering of the flow, 100%. I use a tapered style brush, and you know that is the line thickness, the line weight is adjusted by the pen pressure. I believe the size of the pen point I use is between a 5 and a 7. But this is, you know, for this particular character, and most characters as I'm going along. But I'm making adjustments to the comic book style as I'm going along because I'm learning. I'm using a lot of reference. I look at a lot of other artists' work and a lot of classic work that I like and try to understand why I like it and just learn techniques through it. So here I'm just adding more to the details. I'm trusting the process, and I enjoy the process. I enjoy this step very much because, again, this is the framework for the end inking, where I'll add the shading and the cross hatching and things of that nature. Okay, with the basic inking done, I decided to make components of his costume scales, like snake scales, but dragon scales. So this is where I start creating the story, or not. I continue on with the story. Is he a dragon hunter? Is he a god? Obviously, he's killed a dragon sometime in his life. But as you'll see in a minute, I was getting going on the scales. But I didn't really have an idea of the right way to draw scales. So I ended up erasing this and redoing the scales. And even at the end, when I add scales to the shoulder pads, you'll see they're not right. The direction of the scales are wrong. But again, it's learning. And shortly after creating these scales and erasing and recreating, I looked up different techniques for snake scales, and now I got it. So in a future drawing of RYOJIN, the scales will look way better, and I may do a whole dragon scale suit for him at some point. But you know, this is Torchville Comics. This is the inception stages, and this is my learning curve. Snake scales, but dragon scales, but it's cool. Still, when you see the pattern, it's cool. And you know what I'm envisioning here is the color, the end result. The color is gonna be crazy. Alright, and here I'm finally adding in my blacks, my thick areaed blacks that just add depth, and they start to turn this picture from a flat line, just plain line piece, to a more 3D-ish looking figure. So that's what I go around making adjustments. I'll add black, erase some black, reshape it, do things of that nature. I do it with the scales, and I add more details on this step. Very fun. I like this part of it is where it really ramps up, gets going, and I save all the cross hatching for the end, because it's a treat for me. Like, I like doing the cross hatching, and I mess up a lot there too, but it's fun to zoom in on an area like I wouldn't be able to do on paper. Just focus on that area without seeing any of the rest of the canvas, hatching out or shading out something, and then pulling back and either being like, whoa, that's dope, or being like, that's horrible. So that's gonna lead to the final step in the inking, which is the cross hatching in the frame. right, so now now I'm doing the thicker line on the outside. I like that. I got that vibe from watching James Ray's, and now we get to the cross hatching, which I love. I think the cross hatching is really effective in adding gradation to these black shadows, and you can see, look at the results. It's incredible. I'm gonna let this ride out and enjoy.